Howdy y'all, it's another day. I don't know how many days this is taking, but it's Friday. That's always good, weekend stuff. So if I remember correctly, what I was doing yesterday was redoing the gasket on the valve cover. I just realized I shouldn't put you down here. That's kind of weird. I am tall, but I don't like to talk down to people. I don't want to use my double chin. Anyways. Let's get the fuel tank back on and then decide, figure out if it's running wrong and if it's still leaking oil. But we did the right thing and left the blue gasket maker on, so I feel good about this. So keys are good. Yep. Trying to think of what all I need to do before I put the tank on, and I think it's nothing, but I want to be sure. Okay. Gotta have a rolling cart. Again, it's another one of those days where it's like insanely beautiful out, but for some reason I'm wearing black, but I am just sweating bullets. I just went grocery shopping. I guess that's exhilarating. I don't know. Still a weird guy. Weird sweaty man. Well, heaven. Where was that gas tank sitting? Fun. Road goes on forever and the party never ends. Anything, but sure. I don't feel like popping that thing. Oh. Speaking of pop, oh damn it! These little pucks that the tanks. Yeah. So we got 3 vacuum hoses. This is all emissions shit, I think. But like I was saying, either earlier in this video or in a different video, is it's there, and I don't know what the ramifications are of taking it off. You know, you'd assume that you get more power or something, but is it really worth it? Like, it's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So just, it's not a go fast bike as is. I don't know. Petcock up here. Try to dangle those. Where are those hoses at? I'm probably like ASMRing you in your ear. Sorry. Oh, I am the biggest dumbass in the entirety of dumbasses. I know why it's running like shit. I never tightened down the actual engine intake side clamps, so it's probably having a massive air leak. That'll. I did well in college, and I was on paper supposed to be smart, but you can't buy common sense. Remember that. These types of clamps that you put them in a way that's actually accessible the next time. So don't do it just like out of convenience of it. Like, I don't know how else to say it. Like, make it easy on yourself next time. Don't like tighten it way underneath around to a point where it's easier. sure you can see them. I don't want to have to take these carbs off again, but probably have to. It's an old bike. For the however many fucking time, let's try this again. Put the tank on. Tank installed. Juice, it's loose. Actually, I'm not loose. Completely sober today. Because I want to be able to ride. Don't ride drunk. Don't ride high, don't ride drunk. Don't ride intoxicated, I guess is my point. The moment of truths. So, you're gonna be on leak watch. If it starts leaking oil, you let me know, okay? So I'm looking up in here if this thing even starts. Last time the starter button didn't want to work. It was very, very strange. Oh, it would probably help if I choked it. Yep. So far, so good. I can already tell it's idling better, so I think I was right. I still got the choke on a little bit, but it was running so much higher with the choke on yesterday. This is pretty normal. This is what I'm used to. So I run it about a half, like I started full choke and then immediately dropped it to about a half choke. Then it does this, and then, you know. Alright, I do see we're burning a little bit of oil, but it might be residual. Yeah, it looks like it's coming off the exhaust. So it's probably just from before. I hope. Because I don't see any obvious leaks. Or on the other side though. Oh, yeah, we're smoking over here. Smoking like teenagers in high school. Yeah, on the underside of this exhaust pipe here, you can see it was dripping really bad. Oh yeah. But if we look at the top of the valve cover here, it looks like my gasket fix worked. So what a guy's thinking is that we're just gonna let it warm up and then see if the smoking stops or if we get a funnel of oil. Yeah, we're getting a little bit more smoke now. Let's kick this down off the choke. Oh, it's barely idling. I'm gonna choke it back up. Huh. See, now that would be a little bit different. It never idled that low. But I did, per the recommendation of the jetting kit, I adjusted the mixer screw to what they recommended. So there's a mixer screw on each carb, and they said you set it to a certain amount of turns out, and that will affect your idle. But then, if it's really bad still, I think this is a throttle stop screw. Probably tweak that a little bit to help bring the idle up, maybe a little bit. Alright, I am seeing a bunch of smoke now. Don't mind the coolant either. I don't know if you can tell, there's definitely puddleage of coolant. So let's just let this thing keep warming up and see what it burns off. Might have jinxed myself. I didn't see any leaks, but now I'm seeing a leak. Where's that coming from? Well, why you do this? What? At least we know it's got oil, right? Hey, I want to go take this thing for a spin. So it's trying to tell me something. Telling me to go right, I think. All right. I'm just gonna go for a spin. You hang tight. Actually, here, you can watch me as I pull in. How's that? So you stay there, you watch. I'll be right back, you know? And you know, just gonna watch my chair. It's been a bit since I've been on this bike. Man, this thing is warm. I'll be right back, don't worry. Burning oil. Now she don't want to go in the neutral either. Seriously. Uh-oh. Yeah, we got lots of coolant. Lots of coolant. Maybe it's not oil. Maybe it's coolant. Oh my gosh, there's a fucking puddle behind me. Nope, there's definitely oil in there too. Shit. Oh shit. Maybe I blew an oil cooler line. Real? Yeah. You know, I was noticing the rear tire was giving out a bit. I'm like, oh, you know, it's got a little, maybe a couple spots of oil on it. Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. So that's gonna do it for this one. We gotta clean this shit up and then cry? I don't know. On another note, aside from the potential giant fire that's gonna happen here, it was running really good. It has a little bit more bottom end power, so if I can, you know, plug up some of these giant leaks that are happening now, we're in good shape. I'm honestly not that worried about it. There's probably a simple explanation for this. Maybe something I overlooked, probably. I don't know. Anyways, keep it loose. Hey y'all, I don't have you on my stand, but welcome back. Welcome to a new day. I think the video that you just saw, things probably didn't look that good, and to be honest, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So hopefully from what you just watched, if I edited this correctly, the bike came back in a cloud of smoke and there was a bunch of oil on the ground. I have since done a little bit of researching and then diving into the problem a little bit further. It was not an oil cooler line like I was suggesting. What it was is that the front end of the valve cover case, or the front end of the valve cover, like towards the front of the bike, that part of the gasket has a tendency to leak if it's not set correctly. So in not YouTube land, I went back through and tore the whole thing apart again, and then just gasket makered the fuck out of it. I don't know how else to describe it. It looks obnoxious, but if it leaks, if it leaks, it's not going to be from the valve cover. Let's put it that way. I was looking under here, you know, at the oil cooler and some of these other lines, and from everything I can tell, it looks like that would be the culprit of why there was a bunch of oil. The fan is right behind here, so I think what was happening was it was leaking oil and then spitting it through the radiator. That's why it looked like maybe a radiator leak. As for the coolant leak, that's actually from the thermostat housing, which is right behind the valve cover. I know it's kind of hard to see, but directly underneath the tank that I just reinstalled, there's a thermostat housing, and apparently when you're jarring the valve cover out, sometimes that knocks it enough out of place that there's an O-ring that gets de-seated. So what I did was I just whacked on it to try to push it back into place. So I'm hoping that either slows down or stops the slight coolant leak. Coolant leak was not my biggest problem. It was definitely this oil leak. This thing was like a Exxon Valdez. I've been driving around the neighborhood just tracking where I was, because that's kind of fun to do. I was really leaking some oil, folks. I was just noticing my starter solenoid here is yeah, no, it wasn't in place. Now it is. Huh. I wonder if that was grounding and that's why I wasn't starting. That could be interesting. Looks like there's a boot supposed to go over. Anywho, I'll fix that. So the next thing I gotta do is put gas back into here. I actually just remembered that there's a cover that covers the fan, and I had it kind of popped off, but I'm wondering if I need to get back in there. I'm gonna take the tank off again real quick and fix that, and then do it right, and then we'll be right back. All right, snap back to reality. I know it doesn't look any different, but I just had the tank off, which I actually didn't need. I was able to reach up underneath and pull. It's just a cover. I could have just yanked it out, to be my guess. Tank's on. I did also off camera, I dumped the oil. It wasn't needing to be changed, but obviously I wanted to know how much I actually lost during this whole smoke show endeavor. It looks like it had about a half gallon left, which that's a pretty fair amount, and I only put about, how much, like 2.5 quarts in, and it was already reading on the sight glass, which tells me, because I didn't pull the oil filter, so I think there's probably just a bunch of oil in the filter and maybe some left over in the cooler. So let's get some gas in it, run it, check for leaks again. Obviously if it smokes a little, that's okay, but if we get the same sort of result, then I'm gonna have to really tear this down and start thinking about replacing a whole bunch of gaskets and seals just to cover my ass. But let's hope for the best. Let's get some gas in here, and then we'll get to getting while the getting's good. All right, so I just put some gas in it. I'm gonna, since I don't have my normal stand, I'm gonna just set you on my truck here, and hopefully you don't fall over. I think that'll work. Sure. Watch for leaks now. Alright. That on. Alright, I'll be over here watching the oil dial. Goes nothing, right? Oh, I didn't have my choke on. Really bad. Or is it leaking from up top? Dang it. It's leaking out of here. Alright. Let's stop that. Well, there's a culprit, folks. But I don't know how anything is getting past all that freaking gasket maker I put on there. Let me take another look at this and then I'll check back in with you. Alright, so I just I got a fan going now. I bought a fan because I'm a big sweaty man. I took another look at where it was leaking oil and I ran it again after I let it cool down a bit. Got my hand up in there and then I really pinpointed it's leaking. So it's the right front, the valve cover right behind here. Everything's hot right now, otherwise I'd try to get in there a little bit. This is exhaust, so that's hot. It's not a big leak, but this is also not a Harley Davidson, so we're gonna have to address that. I have something in mind. I'm not gonna tell you just yet for fear of making a fool of myself. So what I'm gonna do is let this cool down. I'm gonna clean that up and then try to address it, and then tomorrow we'll try this again. See you then.
More power, baby. More power, baby. More power, baby.
Howdy, y'all. It is Friday. I don't know what day it is for you, but we're about to head into Labor Day weekend. And last we left off, which I think we'll probably cut right to it, I had everything back together, and then I found a small leak, and then last you saw I said I was gonna do something to try to fix it and then come back to you all. Well, tried that. There was still, even after doing that, just the tiniest amount of leakage. I was finding that at idle it really wasn't leaking out of the hole, but like when I was really rapping on the throttle, it would actually start to pour out of that hole a little bit more. But as of right now, I can only find one leak in the valve cover. So I did an additional something, and then I haven't fired up the bike at all today, but we're gonna try and see if that did it, and if so, we'll be able to actually put the whole thing together, and it's done. And that, in the grand scheme of things, shouldn't take that long. So yeah, this is this is where we're at. Shouldn't look any different from when you last saw it. I did, the only other thing I guess that's not true. I did buy a whole case of engine cleaner degreaser stuff, so I cleaned it, because this was all just 60 or almost 70,000 miles of just grossness. I don't think this thing was really torn down and washed. Which, you know, if the bike is running fine, why would you take all the plastics off? I get it. So, yeah, I guess the only way to really know if it's leaking again is to run it, you know? So, make sure you got the good angles. And if it's gonna leak, it's gonna leak like right here-ish. We'll know if it leaks because it'll be smoking off the exhaust. It's neutral, choke. so good. I'm not seeing any drips. I think the smoke that you are seeing is just stuff burning off. I could be wrong. I might eat those words, but I'm not seeing anything dripping. I'm monitoring the ground. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, it always leaks little, so the fact that it's not leaking anything now is like, we've improved it. I am noticing a little bit more smoke at the bottom. I don't think you can actually see that. But like my trouble spot that where it was really dumping out of, we're good. And I don't think we're leaking coolant anymore either. So last time, the leak really developed when I did this. Parts are falling off, but it's not oil. There's still a leak.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Dang it. Alright. Well, whatever I did helped. So let's try that again and then we'll come back to it tomorrow, I guess.